Yes, it is true. The VA just started to push a VA schedule of rating change for none other than COVID-19 and COVID-19 residuals. Some people have reported a chronic cough that does not go away. And I can tell you, when I had COVID, at least when it first came out, I was coughing for a solid 9 months, maybe even a year after the fact, and it was very, very chronic. It hurt. It genuinely hurt my body. I was super sore there for quite a while. So yes, this is proposed, and what I'm going to do is show you the rule change. And by no means am I a COVID expert. You know, you can talk about the conspiracy COVID stuff. That's perfectly fine. I don't care. Here's the rule change. So the VA is proposing to amend its schedule for rating disabilities that addresses infectious diseases and immune disorders. That is its own VA SRD, like musculoskeletal, mental health. You have immune disorders, same. To add a new diagnostic code and rating criteria for coronavirus disease in 2019, also referred to as COVID-19. Additionally, VA is proposing to amend its claims adjudication regulations to establish, and this is the big one here, I think this is going to be slept on, it's going to be big, establish presumptive service connection for COVID-19 and its chronic residuals. So if you were in service, you know, what's the basis for the presumptive? One we don't know yet. Is it going to be if you were in service and you got COVID, it's going to be service connected? I don't know. That's what it seems like. That is a little crazy, right? Because would you have gotten COVID out of military service? Like, is it really presumptive in the same sense of like sinusitis from rhinitis is? I'm not arguing it. These are just my initial thoughts. So we're definitely going to have to iron this out and see what the VA comes up with. And then it's chronic residuals. And so I am no leading expert in COVID at all or chronic residuals, but I do have the Mayo Clinic pulled up for long COVID. And so we're going to take a look at that too. But I first want to read this rule. This proposed rule making is needed to implement those people MD Veterans Healthcare and Benefits Improvement Act of 2020. Okay. And will enable claims adjudicators, VSRs, to grant service connection for active COVID-19 disease and any of its long-term residuals when the disease is diagnosed after a qualifying period of duty. That's the presumptive piece. But before the end of the manifestation period. So they're going to have to iron that out. I think it's going to be extremely difficult. Just like we see the PACT Act kind of leaving out like Kosovo, Serbia veterans. I think this is going to be the same issue, right? Because when's the start date? When's the end date? Finally, this proposed rule making will specify the nomenclature used to refer to the coronavirus related illnesses. Here's all your VA stuff. There's no final change, right? It goes through the whole process. And just to show you what that actually looks like, let's go to mental health, which has been, oh my goodness, you're going to do that to me right now? Seriously? Okay. I'll show you at the end. I'm going to have to redo it. Oh, nope, it just pulled up. Okay. Like something that's well on its way, like mental health, you'll see these extra ones. So comment period. And then the final action, mental health, is August of 2025. I'll link that video below you or for you below in the pinned comments. But this is the Mayo Clinic here. Let me zoom in for you so everyone can see what I am seeing. Boom. Long COVID lasting effects. Mayo Clinic staff. I'm not going to read all this. I do want to show you the common symptoms of long COVID, other symptoms, and then you even see some conditions that can stem off of that. In VA disability speak, that would be secondaries. Okay, we're definitely going to cover all of these here. So common symptoms of long COVID: extreme tiredness, especially after active activity, problems with memory, often called brain fog, a feeling of being lightheaded or dizzy, problems with the taste or smell. This I've seen, even when I do one-on-ones, I've seen many veterans try to claim this, and right now it's being denied. So this goes through, immediate supplemental claims for those. Other symptoms, so I assume these are more common, right? Common symptoms. Some other symptoms, right? Sleep problems, shortness of breath, coughing. That's what I had, and it sucked, okay? Headache, fast or irregular heartbeat, and digestion problems such as loose stools, constipation, or bloating. And then it goes on to explain diseases that people may be diagnosed with due to long COVID. Now, real quick, this is rule change. Well, that's mental health. Let me click on, let's at least look at the COVID-19. This is rule change. We don't know what this looks like yet. I'm just showing you what the Mayo Clinic has because the VA is going to use outside sources to build that rating schedule. They don't come up with that. Now, the percentages, yes. Medical community consensus, no. But here's the secondaries. Heart diseases, mood disorders, anxiety, that's an absolutely solid secondary. Stroke or blood clots, that one really sucks. Good for disability, really sucks for healthcare. Whatever the heck that says, also called POTS. There we go, POTS. You don't know what POTS is? Whatever this says, chronic fatigue syndrome, also called ME/CFS. Mast cell activation syndrome, fibromyalgia, diabetes, and hyperlipidemia. Sorry, I don't, it's me. You can just Google, COVID-19. What did I Google here? I Googled chronic residuals of COVID-19 and then just clicked the Mayo Clinic. Okay. This wasn't astounding research. These are just my real quick food for thought. But the rule change is it's underway. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Here it is. Let me know your thoughts on this COVID-19 presumptive stuff. Whatever time, if it's a time period thing, every single service member, let's say from 2020 to 2021, I don't know, whenever they force people to train, like OCS and boot camp, that's a lot of people for presumptive service connection. A lot. I'm curious as to who they're going to roll out. When's the start date? When's the end date? What does that look like? I have no idea, but I'm going to be paying very close attention to this. Now, I got out in 2019, so this is after my time, so it's not going to affect me, but still, I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this. I'm very interested to see what comes out. Anyways, that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts on the COVID-19 proposed rule change, its own diagnostic code, and chronic residuals and presumption criteria. 3 different things here going on. This is really big news. I know it's just a rule change. It's got to go through the process. I get that. But I'm telling you, this is really big news.